Hi guys, how you doing? Just come down to my plot for an afternoon. Just nice and relaxed. I'm not feeling too energetic today. Just want to do a little bit of weeding, stuff like that. I mean, I've been down here about an hour now. I've got about a wheelbarrow full of weeds, which I'm sure most of you would say that that's a poor effort, but it's quite a lot for me, to be fair. Yeah, it's bending down, picking up and stuff. Tends to it's not my friend really. So but I've done a bit. I have to excuse if there's a bit of a wobble on the camera. It's because I've forgotten my selfie stick thing, so I'm just holding the phone. Yeah, so I've done a bit of weeding. I've harvested some onions, harvested some beetroot, hopefully pickle some of that beetroot for Christmas, so that'll be quite good. Onions, we get through so many. I mean, the onions I've got now probably won't even last till the end of October. I need to, it's catch-22 really, I need to grow more onions, but at the same time I'm not trying to be 100% self-sufficient, and if I was to grow all the onions that we eat in a year, I would probably have to grow onions and nothing else but onions. So what I tend to do is I tend to grow a variety that is a nice flavour that you can't buy in the shops. So I've got some giant, well not giant, they're not giant, I think they're called Centurion. They're like a large, like white onion, like I suppose like a Spanish onion that you'd buy from the shops. They're quite a nice flavour actually. They're not too blow your head off, but they are quite strong. You know, they're strong, but got strong with flavour rather than just strong with no flavour. So yeah, so it's worth having them because I mean, one of those will do us over like 2 meals. I mean, if I tend to cook my minced beef and my onions in a batches of 2. So for instance, on a Monday I'll cook the minced beef and the onions. With that, we'll then have spaghetti bolognese, let's say, on the Monday, and we'll have chili con carne on the Tuesday using the same mince, or you know, lasagna and minced beef and onions or something like that. So one onion does a good pounding weight of mince. Yeah, they're nice to grow, and also, you know, they're not organic because, like I said before, I do use weed killers and this, that and the other occasionally, but you know, they're certainly a lot better than what you get in the shops. So what else have I done today? Yeah, more weeding. I've harvested the beetroot, like I said, ready for Christmas. I found a giant frog in the greenhouse. Biggest frog I've seen for a long time, easily as big as my hand, and it wasn't a toad. Before you say it's a toad, no, I know the difference between a toad and a frog, and this was a giant frog. I mean, I see a lot of little frogs, but no, he's in there. He's obviously munching on all the slugs and things that are living in the greenhouse. Like I said, I leave my greenhouse door open, so he's found his way in there. He'll find his way out, and there's plenty of water about, so don't worry. You know, the frog's not going to dehydrate or bake in the greenhouse. Well, yeah, I'm going to do a bit more weeding then today. I've got 2 beds in my head that I want to clear, ready. I tend to come down the allotment with like a mental list of things that I've got to do. So today was harvest onions, harvest beetroot, weed the path. So I've weeded the path, I've harvested the onions, harvested the beetroot. So anything else from now is a bonus. So yeah, so I've got 1 bed that I'm going to do now. See how I feel after that, and then I'm going to move on to the 2nd bed. So anyway, I've had a cup of coffee, lit the rocket stove. I've been and talked to one of my neighbours, so really and truthfully I should now go and do some more work, but quite comfy in my IKEA chair. So so talking to you guys is a good excuse to not do any more work. But no, I should really do some. It's a nice day. Burning daylight, as you Americans say. See, even I might succumb to the odd Americanism from time to time. So yeah, anyway, so yeah, I best do some work. I might show you how I've got on, although it won't be that interesting. It'll just be, you know, pictures of weeded ground. You don't need to see that. Sorry about that, lost my trail of thought. So yeah, I will might show you how well I've got on. But to be perfectly honest, it won't be that exciting. You don't really need to see somebody weed. It's not the most exciting task. There's nothing great in it. But what I am trying to do is, I've got my kale in now for the winter. That bed needs weeding, and then the beds that I'm freeing up now, I'm going to start getting those covered over, ready for the springtime. Because I know we're into September in a couple of weeks, and you know that's our British summer starts to, you know, we normally have a good September in England. You know, it's not the hottest, but it's good growing weather, and by that I mean if you leave your beds open, you're going to get weeds. So you can clear a bed at the end of August, it will be full of weeds by the middle of October. So it's better if you are clearing beds, get them covered. Put some, you know, if you haven't got membrane or tarpaulin, or you don't want to use anything like that, get some cardboard, or even get some straw, some used straw or something, or a big thick layer of mulch. I wouldn't say horse manure, because horse manure has a lot of seeds in it, especially things like nettles and stuff, and they'll just grow through. So good layer, even grass clippings, just put a good thick layer of either cardboard, grass clippings on top of the bed, just to stop the light activating those seeds. Because obviously, even if you've been an immaculate gardener and you pulled out every weed you can find, you know, it only takes one dandelion, you know, 100 yards away in a field, in a hedge, to spread its seeds over your allotment, your garden, and every single one of those seeds will take. So yeah, it's well worth covering your beds over until the springtime. Save you a lot of work in the long run. There's been times when I've basically, I'd say I forgot, but I've been too lazy, and God, the following spring I wished that I had covered the beds over, because what could potentially be a half-hour job now will be a 3-4 hour job next spring. And you know, it just makes sense. So yeah, I will, when I do start covering beds over, I might just show you what I do, but it's nothing, like I said, it is nothing fancy. It is literally putting a mulch layer down or cardboard on top. The one good thing is, if you're doing the no dig beds, is beds don't even need to be dug over, so you can plant straight through. So you stick a big mulch layer on of well rotted manure or something, and then put your cardboard on top of it. Leave it all over the winter. Slugs, worms, everything else will do their work, and mix it all in and get all your soil going. And then come the springtime, the cardboard will either be rotted away, which is fine, or if it's not, you just cut a hole in it and plant your plants through the cardboard. Job done. That's what I did with my onions this year, and I've had very few weeds in between my onions, and it's worked a treat. So yeah, that's the plan for the next few days. Like I said, I'm going to be away from the plot for a few weeks on my flying scholarship. Yeah, I'll explain that in another video. But yeah, I'm going to be learning to fly. So that'll be a whole new series of videos, because I thought that something quite cool, that I'm going to document it. So yeah, look out for that if you're interested. If not, just scroll through. Okay. Well, all the best, guys. Possibly speak soon, possibly not. See how I get on. See if I discover anything interesting when I'm finished weeding. Okay, ta-da. Hi guys, how you doing? So, I was down here yesterday. I did quite a bit of weeding and things yesterday, but I popped down today just because I had to squirt some weed killer on the brambles behind the shed. But yesterday I thought we had potato blight on the plot, and I cut some of the foliage off my tomatoes, because obviously potato blight affects tomatoes because they're part of the same family. And I thought, you know, I didn't know whether it was blight or not. It would just look like it could be, or it could just be the plants like starting to die off. But I've come down today and it's definitely blight. 100% sure it's blight now, because it's spread in 24 hours. So that's the thing with blight. It just, once it gets hold, it goes so quickly. So I'm in a bit of a pickle now, as in, do I risk it, or do I pick all my tomatoes and try and ripen them at home? So yeah, at the moment I'm leaning towards risking it, and I'm going to cut all the foliage off, and then I'm going to see how it goes, because the thing is, I'm away in September, and my other half will be coming down here to harvest stuff, and she won't have a clue what she's looking for. So yeah, it's a bit of a bugger, because the tomatoes are looking really good. They weren't ripening very quick outside, but they were big fat plump things, and a week ago they were healthy as anything. And what was a couple of yellow leaves is now, I'm like I said, I'm 100% sure it's blight now. So yeah, so it's a bit of a pain. Anyone got any ideas about what you can do with blight? Let me know, because if any of these blight resistant tomatoes actually work or not, I don't know. It's not been something I've really struggled with in the past. I've normally had a really heavy crop and then blights hit, and so I don't really mind so much. It's just one of those things. But this year, it's whether it's because of all the rain we've had, and we haven't had a lot of sunshine in August, the tomatoes just haven't ripened that quickly. They've grown, and you know, there's loads of green tomatoes, but it's just, there's not been that many. For me, there hasn't been that many anyway. But I think next year I'm going to probably stop growing big tomatoes, just in case we have another year like this. And I'm going to, excuse the phone, it's the joys of using a camera phone. So yeah, next year I'm probably going to not grow big tomatoes, just in case you have a similar sort of summer where it's quite wet and muggy. Obviously perfect blight conditions, and not very good conditions for ripening tomatoes. But what I will do is I will grow more cherry tomatoes, and I'll grow some more yellow tomatoes, I think. That way they should, you know, they will ripen quicker because they're, you know, smaller. So, yeah, bit of a disheartening one that. But I'm going to have to see if I can save them anyway. I've got one more week, so I can cut all the foliage off. I can see how well it does over the next week, and then if they haven't ripened, or they're not ripening, or that the blight still looks like it's going to spread to the fruit, then I'll have to harvest what I can, and see if I can get them to ripen in the windowsill at home with some bananas. So yeah, bummer. So guys, just thought I'd show you what I've done with the tomatoes. Excuse the mess in the kitchen, I haven't got around to tidying it up yet. But yeah, here we go. What I've done is I've cut the tomatoes. They've got plenty of stem on them. As you can see, I've brought some wooden trellis to hang them off to let the air circulate. This window gets a lot of sun throughout the day. And then what I'm going to do is hang some yellow bananas up around it, because the bananas give off some kind of gas. Can't think what it is now. I think it's to do with the potassium content in them, and it helps fruit ripen. So at least I should be able to save some tomatoes. What I did as well is I made quite a warm, well, not hot enough that you get your hands in, warm water with a tiny drop of fairy liquid in it, and I dipped all the tomatoes in it for a few seconds, and then I rinsed it off with warm water. Idea behind it was basically if there was any spores on there of blight, and that should just kill it off. And I'll keep an eye on it, and any of them that there's a few that have just got little specks on like there. I'll keep an eye on them. If it gets worse, they'll come off and they'll go in the bin. Hopefully I should save some, but we'll see how it goes. Okay, speak soon. Take care.